much blues. It's like I'm crying. You won. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, maybe you're jumping, maybe you're laughing.
Yeah, right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Ready is good. Ready is good. That's what we want. John Peckman Podcast, Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance. Beautiful downtown Portland, Connecticut. Come over the bridge, pull a Ewing, park in front of the music store with the red neon light. We have vinyl. We have music lessons. We have all kinds of things here in Portland. And today we have drummer Mark Hennessy as our guest. There he is, live and in person. You know what I'm saying?
Glad to be here.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Glad to be anywhere.
You've seen it. Is this how you pictured it? You know?
I didn't know because you don't see much of the surroundings.
Yep. But this is it. This is the spot. The house that Dave built. That was Dave.
That was Dave.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, of course. So, tell us about yourself, drumming wise. Yes, talk about your gigs coming up. We'll do that first.
You want to do that first?
Yeah.
All right.
So people will know.
Cool. Right now I'm playing with Tim Mayock.
Oh yeah.
Who you know very well.
Yeah.
I saw him today.
Oh, cool.
In a band called Flood of 55.
Oh wow.
And it's a trio. And
was there a flood in 55?
There was.
Where?
I should look it up since I'm playing in a band that's called that. But I just started with them. So we're going to be doing every Wednesday from 8 to 10 at Grindstone Tavern in Collinsville.
Oh wow.
Part of Canton.
Hey, that's cool. Yeah.
And also a weekly, starting in June, I'll be doing Tuesdays with my four-piece blues thing called The Incredible Amplifiers.
Oh, wow.
At it's like a Chicago blues thing. At, where are we? Uno's Pizza, believe it or not, next to the Springfield Basketball Hall of Fame. They have a great outdoor patio.
Yeah.
A little stage, and it's really a fun time if it doesn't rain. If it rains, we're off.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of a big show, unusual show, on the 31st of this month at Black Eyed Sally's. It's called Northeast Blues Guitar Summit.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we're going to have 4 featured players. I'm playing drums for all of them.
Nice.
And the bass player is Tim Leffingwell from the band The Incredible Amplifiers.
Okay.
Dave Robbins, also from The Incredible Amplifiers, puts this together.
Okay.
He does a harmonica one and a guitar one.
Gotcha.
Every 6 months, Black Eyed Sally's.
Nice.
So we're going to have Danny Dreyer, Ricky King Russell from the Boston Way. You know him?
Nope.
No, he's great. Dean Schott, who played with the Fabulous Thunderbirds, and Ryan Newman from The Incredible Amplifiers.
Wow.
He's a young firebrand. Young, 25 to me. He's young.
Sure.
I've been playing with him since he was 18.
Oh, wow.
So that'll be fun.
That's cool.
Those are the most upcoming things.
Yeah. Blues Guitar Summit.
Yeah.
Everybody going to play at the same time?
Maybe for 5 minutes at the end. I tell you, that's always a train wreck. I mean, how much can you take?
Yeah, right.
How many guitars do you need?
Yeah, how much, and then how much blues? It's like, I'm crying. You won. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, maybe you're jumping, maybe you're laughing.
Yeah, right.
Maybe you're swinging.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
Blues is not sad. You know this.
Yeah. No,
not all of it. Some of it.
Yeah.
But
no, I know. Is that what you would primarily consider yourself? But probably not.
In recent years, I've been playing a lot of blues, but like Americana as well. There's another band I need to mention. We don't have anything that I can think of at the moment on the schedule, but Orb Mellon Trio. Orb Mellon is Mike Malone, and Dave Robbins plays harp. So it's harp, drums, guitar. No bass.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Wow.
It's all improv.
Is that on purpose?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's all improv. It's kind of like Hill Country meets rock and roll.
Yeah.
And Orb's a great singer and guitar player. And Dave is Dave. Plays a lot of harp.
That's wild.
So we'll be doing things.
Bass harmonica.
Well, he'll play. Nah.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. I know. I've heard it. I've seen it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Hey, that's pretty cool. And you're saying it's improv?
Yeah, basically the lyrics are done on the spot.
Whoa.
The music is done on the spot. We never play anything the same way.
Wow.
Yeah. It's it's good training for the ear for a drummer, anybody really.
Yeah.
Because you gotta be there. You gotta be in the music. It isn't like learn your part and go out to lunch. It's stick with it. Listen to what's happening. Recognize the pattern. So I enjoy that. It's like different than anything I do.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah. Plus, it's 3-piece, so you can make a little more money.
Well, it's always a plus. Where is that?
Well, right now we don't have anything that I can think of.
But you're getting ready.
Yeah, further in the distance there's something, but
cool.
I didn't write it down. I mean, I have it on my phone, but I didn't write it down.
Yeah.
So
far out. How did it all start for you?
Well, good question. I started late in life for most drummers. I took some lessons when I was 14.
Yeah.
Maybe for about a year.
Sure.
Windsor Music Center.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I think it's still there.
I don't know, but yeah.
Then I played freshman year in high school, in the high school band, but then I got into track and cross country, and that was it.
Wow.
Didn't play.
Yeah.
Went to college, didn't really play. Played once at a party.
Oh, wow.
Went to grad school, had a band during that.
Yeah.
And then after that, moved to the city, New York City, and started playing bands like right off the bat.
Oh, wow.
I did have some training early years in the city with a jazz guy, a couple of years, but the rest on the job training. 40 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
And when would that have been?
I guess I started playing for pay in '85.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, '85.
Okay.
It's
What was going on down there back then?
There were a lot of places to play, unlike today.
Yeah.
My first band was a trio, kind of a rootsy, bluesy thing, some original stuff, but a lot of covers, Thunderbirds, and Leroy Brothers, and kind of weird stuff.
Yeah.
But we were playing everywhere, all of a sudden, boom. I mean, there are places like Rodeo Bar used to be there, which is a great place.
Yeah.
Manny's Car Wash, gone.
Yeah.
And I had another band in New York that really made some noise for about 5 years, called Voodoo Rhythm Kings.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a 5 or 6 piece band, depending on how many horns. You might be thinking of another band.
Oh, okay.
The Voodoods, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, we played all over the city. Manny's Car Wash, Tramps, Chicago Blues, 8th Avenue, 14th Street. Lots of places. Plus, we kind of went out, did festivals and stuff.
Yeah.
We got hooked in with, this is Voodoo Rhythm Kings I'm talking about. We got hooked in with Lone Star Roadhouse, not the original location, which was Cafe. That was 5th Avenue and 13th.
Yeah.
After that, they opened Roadhouse, Lone Star Roadhouse, up in the theater district. And I guess we played there one night. They liked us.
Yeah.
And then the booking agent booked us as an opener for all these great acts.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we opened for Screaming Jay Hawkins.
Wow.
Booker T and the MGs.
Whoa.
Yeah. Earl King.
Wow.
And then we played as his band.
Oh, wow.
Same night, he did the Chuck Berry thing where he shows up.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew his material, so
Sure.
it was okay.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah, and we did some bigger shows around. We played Philadelphia River Blues Festival in Philadelphia. It's one of these multi-stage, multi-day things, like a mini version of New Orleans Jazz Fest.
Yeah.
And the funny story there is, ahead of us on the stage we were to play, first 2 bands ahead of us was Charles Brown, which was great.
Yeah, sure.
And then it was Junior Wells.
Oh.
So then you had a bunch of white kids coming up.
Yeah.
But the funny part is I'm sitting there, they have a kid, of course, and I had my cymbals and snare. And so I'm sitting there fiddling around. Guy walks up, says, can I give you a hand? And I'm looking at him, I'm like, that's George Porter.
Oh. Whoa.
Yeah, from the meters. He was working, for the company, Mardi Gras Productions.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, holy crap.
Wow.
That was fun.
That's heavy.
Yeah.
Now, were you interested in the blues and roots music, or it just happened?
Well, I'll back up and I'll tell you about 2 bands that really influenced what I did and what I'm doing, that really had an impact on me. One was A Room Full of Blues.
Sure.
My folks bought a house in the town of Westerly in '76.
Wow, yeah.
And I had a friend who knew about Room Full of Blues. They were playing, I was there summers through high school, college, grad school.
Yeah.
And Roomful would play every Sunday night at the Knickerbocker.
Sure.
Famous place. And a friend of mine dragged me down one night, and it was life-changing. It was totally life-changing. Sure. It was like, this is my music.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So you know the lineup, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
John Rossi.
Yeah. Every band that you really fall in love with has a golden period.
Okay, yeah.
And for me, the period was 76, 77, 70. So it was Duke Robillard, guitar vocals, John Rossi on drums, powerhouse, big drums, big cymbals.
Yep.
Al Copley on piano.
Wow.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
Still is.
Yeah.
Preston Hubbard on bass.
Oh, wow.
He's gone.
Yeah, sure.
And he went to the Thunderbirds, shortly thereafter. And then who am I missing? The horns, of course. Greg Piccolo, tenor, Doug James, baritone, and Rich Latai, alto.
Yeah.
And except for John, who passed, and Preston, who passed, all his guys are still active.
Wow, yeah.
Roomful of Blues these days only has one original member, Rich Latai. He plays alto and tenor.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was a scene. I mean, it really was a scene.
Yeah, I wasn't there yet, but
people would come and dance. They had their own version of the Lindy, but it was more like a punk version.
Yeah.
And it was crowded and sweaty and brilliant.
Yeah.
And they had they had minor amplification back in that day. I mean, but they sounded so wonderful. You could hear everything perfectly.
I bet.
And again, that music just hit me. I said, I got to do this.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. That's cool.
I mean, I was already doing a little bit of playing, but I was like, all right.
And that got you back into it in grad school? Like you were like, hey, I used to play drums.
Yeah, I was more focused on academics. I didn't really have much time because I was teaching and it was a whole thing. But we did have a band. It was kind of a lame project. But I always loved drums from the beginning. Not a lot of training, but on the job training.
Yeah.
And there was something else I was going to tell you about Roomful. Now I forgot. Oh, well, didn't matter. $2 cover charge when I first started going there. I was 17. I was underage, but they were like, yeah, come on.
Yeah. Sure.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So basically what I did was I got into what they were into, like what influenced them.
Yeah.
So, this record, this one, Buddy Johnson Orchestra.
Sure.
That was a big influence on their sound.
Okay.
Kind of big band blues.
Yeah.
But then, got into Basie, got into Ellington, some of the jazz influences they had.
Yeah.
And the same kind of story with NRBQ.
Oh, boy.
First time I saw Al Anderson, I was in grammar school.
Oh, boy.
I was waiting for a bus.
So you grew up in Windsor?
Yes. I grew up in Windsor. I was waiting for a bus to go. We lived in Pequannock at the time, north, and my school was near the center of town. So I took a bus home every day. And I'm waiting for a bus, and I turn around, and there's this, like, hulking, crazy-looking guy.
Yeah.
And apparently he was at his mother's house, which is right by the bus stop, she teaches piano. I don't know if he was taking piano.
Oh, okay.
It was probably in the period definitely after the Wild Weeds, but maybe he was doing his Vanguard record, the solo record.
Yeah.
It was probably in that period.
Sure.
And then I saw NRBQ at, I think, Windsor High. I was still pretty young. And it took me longer to grok on them than Roomful. Roomful instant.
Oh,
boom,
wow.
Right?
Yeah.
But then I either got some records or started seeing them more often, and then I saw them a lot, and it's just like, wow. I mean, they're just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And again, golden period to me was, Al
Yep.
on guitar and vocals.
Of course.
Joey, obviously, on vocals and bass. Tom Yardolino, which, unbelievable player.
Yep.
And then, of course, Terry.
Yeah.
And then occasionally the whole wheat horns.
Sure.
But, I'm a nut about them, as you are, I know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was, my older sister was into them. So I listened to their records. And then I was totally into them. When I turned 21, they were the first band I went to see. I just like, okay.
Where'd you see them? Do you remember?
The Sting.
The Sting.
And I'll never forget it. It was amazing. It was just like, okay, yep, this is the thing. And,
I missed a lot of those clubs because I went to New York right after high school to go to college. And then I was in New York, 30 years.
Yeah.
Longest I've ever lived anywhere.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I miss it.
Oh, really?
But I go back all the time.
Yeah.
I had a band there called Voodoo. I already talked about them. Called Shanghai Love Motel. It was like a post-punk pop band.
Yeah.
Different than anything else I did.
Yeah.
And we did a bunch of stuff, put out a record. We sold 35 copies, so we're rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
And then when I go back, we get together, we play.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
So playing in the city.
Yep.
Feeling pretty good.
Had that band, the first band, a trio called, what we call the Van Dorens.
Okay.
And then I played with a bunch of different things, some rockabilly, some instrumental stuff, all in the roots kind of vein. And then I did Shanghai Love Motel, and then I did Voodoo Rhythm Kings. This is all New York. And that's pretty much what I did in New York. I had a corporate job, so
Okay.
I had to work around that.
Yeah. Right. And then how did you make your way back here? Why?
Well, I got sick of my job, and they got sick of me. I had been there 14 years, and you can't live in the city without money.
Right. I gotcha.
Plus, my parents were ailing. They lived in West Hartford, and they were ailing, and
Okay.
so it made sense to come
It was
back.
time.
Yeah. And that was in like 2008.
Oh, wow.
So I've been around for a while.
Yeah. How different, I'm trying to think, 2008, how different was the scene then than it is now?
I mean, when I left New York?
Well, the scene in Connecticut.
Again, I didn't know what the scene in Connecticut was till I got here.
Yeah.
And then I got into a 4-piece, kind of an NRBQ-ish band. What was it called? Bigfoot Melvin?
Yeah.
Strange name.
Yeah.
Piano, bass, drums, guitar.
Yeah.
And we all sang. Did that for a couple of years. Cool. And then what did I do? I've been in a lot of bands here. I was with Carl Ritchie in 706 Union Ave, a blues thing, 4-piece.
Yeah.
We qualified to go to Memphis, International Blues Competition.
Sure.
And they qualified a second time just this past year.
Oh, nice.
But I left the band before they went. I did help them qualify. These things at Black Eyed Sally's, they have these contests. They're kind of silly, but, if you want to go to Memphis and you're good and you win, hey.
Why not? Yeah.
And they fund part of the trip, but you gotta shell out.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
So I was with that band for 5 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been with the Incredible Amplifiers, this Chicago blues quartet, for 8 years. And Orb Mellon for 6 years. And those are ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get hired, as you do, by people that they know you, they need a drummer, they think you're good.
Mm-hmm.
Junior Krause and the Shakes, they've been around for 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Kind of a Little Walter thing.
Yeah.
And then they do like rock and roll, like Paladins and all that stuff.
I love the Paladins.
Oh, Paladins are great.
I got a Paladin story.
Okay. Go ahead. Hit me.
I stumbled on them like anybody. And then pretty much, I know every album, the whole.
Do you?
Yeah. And
I got a few, not all of them.
I'm kind of, if I get into something, I start from the beginning.
Yeah, I can tell.
Kind of that's the way it is. And it was my birthday recently, a couple of weeks ago, and my wife, what do you want? I don't know. And then I was in the Paladins, I was in a deep dive again. And I said, you know what? See if you could find a Paladins T-shirt. That would be cool. I've never seen one of those. She goes, oh, okay. And birthday comes. Little light on the presents, I got to admit. And she goes, something's in the mail. So just
relax.
Okay, all right, I got you. And then there was one day she was away for the day, and mailman came, and talking to her on the phone, I go, and it was a package, and it was from Lux Records, San Diego.
Is that their label?
And I said, can I open the Paladins T-shirt? That obviously, she goes, oh yeah. She goes, open it. I have a story for you. And I said, okay. So I open it. Not only is a shirt in there, there's a card, a greeting card, handwritten, saying, sorry it took so long. We were out on tour, and but I gave you a couple of goodies for being patient.
Oh, nice.
Your pal Thomas.
Yearsley?
Yeah. So a pin. And like 2 CDs and like a download card.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I'm like, and I go, what's the story? She goes, what's his name? Thomas Yearsley? Who's that? I go, that's the bass player.
Yeah.
And she's like, super nice. They were out on tour. His wife has the shirts made.
Oh, she does. Yeah.
So He's like, we just couldn't coordinate it. We couldn't coordinate it. That's why it was late. And I got a couple extra goodies.
Very nice.
So I'm like, yes. So I got the shirt.
Yeah.
But yeah.
My friend Bob Beckyard, he's the drummer for Junior Cross and the Shakes. He's a massive Paladins.
Oh, yeah?
Fan. He's a great drummer, too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
He's also got a jazz trio that they just started. Matt Beliveau is a guitar player. Is fantastic.
Yeah.
And they used the upright bass player, Ben Boylan from Junior Cross and the Shakes in that trio.
Yeah.
They're worth seeing, for sure.
Yeah, there's something about it. I mean, I want to be a lot of things. I like a lot of things. I want to be a lot of things. I would love to be a rockabilly cat. I just don't have it. I don't have the demeanor. There's nothing about. I don't have it.
The thing.
I don't have the thing.
I know what you mean.
But I love the thing. I don't know anything about cars. I don't know anything.
I get a little sick of that stuff.
But I love the whole thing.
It can be very anal in terms of how they look and what they're into. I'm like, all right.
But I get on. There's a couple of things that I get into. That once I get started, I have a lot of things, but rockabilly's one of them.
Yeah.
Like once I get started, I have to like kind of drag myself out because it'll be all about that.
Are you familiar with Sleepy LaBeef?
Yeah.
He's great. I mean, I used to follow him, and he'll let anyone sit in.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. So I sat in a few times with him.
Yeah.
And he goes from song to song.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I always want to be one of those cats, but I just don't. No, I don't have the vibe, you know.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. There was a hot, quick minute way back in the day. So, I was in a band called 8 to the Bar.
Oh, sure.
It was kind of roomful adjacent.
Yeah.
Depending on, like when we were playing Rhode Island, we would kind of jump blues more oriented, and we play, and that was one of our things, and we did a lot of doubles with them. And whoops, I unplugged myself. And I mean, it was mind blowing. My mind was blown too, and intersected with that whole thing with Young Neil and Roomful and that whole thing.
I know all those guys.
And when I first joined 8 to the Bar, Chris Vachon was the guitar player.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it was like. I love Chris. He obviously, it was a gig, it was a decent gig at the time.
Was he living in Rhode Island at the time?
Yeah, he was living in Rhode Island, but that band was, all New England, so you can kind of swing it.
Yeah.
And I was the new guy, but I kind of got the sense that he wasn't really that into it.
Really?
It was a little cutesy for him. Yeah, for him.
Yeah, I understand how he might feel that way. I mean, it's fun music.
Yeah, but he was great.
How long did you do that? In what period?
8 to the Bar, almost the entire 90s.
Wow.
I joined in like 89. But anyway, Chris might have been in the band a year or so. Mm-hmm. And I remember Cynthia, the band leader's like, I mean, God bless her because she was cool enough, but she said, that was when it happened, that Roomful asked Chris to join.
Oh.
I don't remember who left. But he was like, I got the call.
Might have been Ronnie Earl at that point.
It might have been.
Yeah, because it was Duke, and then it was Ronnie.
It might have been Ronnie.
And then, I guess Chris from then on. When Ronnie left.
It could have been Ronnie.
I think.
But it was like bittersweet because we were in a panic because we were going to lose him. But on the other hand, it was like, good for you.
Yeah, right. Go for it.
And he ended up owning the band. Like he ran the band forever.
They're still going.
Still doing it. Yeah. But there was one hot minute. I think after John died.
Yeah.
He called me up.
Yeah.
He's like, I want you to do it.
Oh, wow.
And I don't remember what happened. I auditioned. And I think at that time I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
If I recall.
Wow. Well, it's pretty demanding.
They
aren't playing as much these days.
No, this was back in the days of the tour bus and just that was it. And I don't remember how I left it. I remember agonizing about it. And I think I passed on it. Because I was just, I was coming out of the world of like, I was the kid. And I was sick of being the kid. I wanted to, and I thought, as much as I love him, I'll end up just being the kid forever. And I think I passed and kind of made my own way. But I think back and I go, I would have liked to have done it. But I got to be 100% honest. Chris was like, you sounded fine. But I mean, John Rossi, it's a special thing.
How do you
It's a thing.
replace that guy? I mean,
I was a fan, and I would feel like I would be like, no. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I know exactly.
Like I might be able to figure it out. Like, do you know Matt Zeiner?
Yeah, sure.
That's another thing. When they were putting the weight band together, he's like, "You're in," and I was like, listen, I can." Now that I could play drum wise, but I'm like, I'm not singing Levon songs.
Yeah.
Because I'm a band fan from day one.
Yeah.
If I saw that, I'd be like, nah, I'm a decent singer, but I'm not that guy.
Yeah. Right.
And I passed on that too, and I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
But I was like, as a fan, I'd be like, no, man, this guy's
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the way I felt.
Yeah.
I don't know who ended up doing it. But I wasn't ready then. I would have been more ready later. But I don't think that I wasn't. I don't think I was the guy for that.
Maybe you weren't there or whatever. Roomful has been through so many drummers and bass players.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know these people anymore.
I know.
I haven't seen them in years and years. I mean, I would check them out again just to see what they're like now.
Yeah.
But it won't be anything like that golden period I was talking about. And I haven't seen NRBQ in a while, but they're going to be
in
at
Hampton.
The Space,
I'm
right?
going to go.
Baldwin, you going to go?
Yeah.
Like August 7th or something?
Yeah, I haven't seen them in a while either, but I figure I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, I need to see them unless I'm playing, but you know, that often happens where it's like I want to see somebody and I got a gig.
Yeah, no, I know.
And that's all I do is play drums, so I need the money.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Hire me out there, people.
Yeah, you got that right. Yeah, I know. And then Tom Artolino, that's another one. I mean,
how do you replace him?
You don't.
No.
I mean, I guess you can try.
Yeah.
But
John Pearson is the guy now. He's pretty good. But
I haven't. So I kind of want to see with my own eyes
what
to understand.
He does. Yeah.
And I'm sure anyone would tell you. I'm no disrespect to him. I'm sure he would say the same thing that you can't. I remember, it would just be so perplexing. I would not understand how is he doing what he's doing?
Yeah.
How is he? And I remember one time.
And he was a total natural, right?
Yeah.
No training, really.
No.
Right?
No. And they played outside in Manchester.
Mm-hmm.
And I was with a friend, and we sat. I was like, perfect. We're going to sit. They were playing in a gazebo.
Mm-hmm.
And we got behind him so I could watch him play. And I said, I'm going to figure it out now. And I was more confused than ever. Watch him. I just was like, I don't understand how
does he get that?
How he's doing it. And then I'll stop talking about it. But Jim Chapdelaine,
right?
He was starting to hire Tommy for sessions right at the end. And it was kind of, not my kit, but it was the house kit. Mm-hmm. It was the kit that was there. Mm-hmm. And I went in to do something, and Jim says, Tommy was here the other day. I said, really? And he goes, yeah, you want to hear it? And I said, yeah. So we're like listening to it.
Who was he playing with?
I don't remember. It wasn't anything.
Yeah. Tommy would do stuff just for money.
Yeah. So we soloed the drums, and it was my drum kit, and it didn't sound like my drum kit at all. I was like, this is freaking amazing. It's just
you're probably familiar with the record with Terry and Mayox, and I think Tommy played on it. It was PJ.
Yeah.
PJ whatever.
O'Connell. Yeah.
Since passed.
Yeah. It might have been that, actually.
He played on that. He played on that.
Huh. I'll have to ask Jim what it was.
Yeah. I don't know. Jim may have produced it. I don't think he played on it, but
yeah.
What was that called, that record? I have it.
I'll figure it out.
I don't remember.
But yeah, there's nobody. Yeah. Not on the planet.
You always know it's him when he's playing.
Yep.
I mean, is it Carl Palmer? Earl Palmer.
Yeah.
Great drummer, right?
Sure. Invented.
Was nuts about
Tommy's
playing. I mean,
that's all you need to know.
Yeah, it's like, you kidding me?
No. No, totally. Yeah. No, it happens.
So in terms of other things I've been doing band-wise, for about a year, we had a 5-piece kind of traditional country band.
Oh, cool.
Merle Haggard and all that stuff, plus a lot of originals.
Yeah.
So we had a pedal steel, electric guitar, acoustic guitar, upright bass, drums, and I sang some with that. I did, what did I do? Trail of Tears.
Nice.
Nick Lowe.
Yeah.
Love Nick Lowe.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's great.
Funny.
Yeah.
Little Village.
Yeah. Great. And, Rock Pile. Is he on Rock Pile? Sure. Is he on that Rock Pile?
I think probably, right?
Well, we'll see. We got it right here.
Dave Edmonds.
That's Edmonds. No, actually, yeah, no. So look, it's him in the middle.
Oh yeah, yep. He's still he's around.
Oh yeah,
he comes around.
I want to see the show with the masked guys. What?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Low Straight Jacket.
Yeah, Low Straight Jackets.
Yeah, is Dave Edmonds still alive?
I think so.
Okay.
I haven't heard much from him lately, but
yeah, Rockpile. Yep.
I think they put out 2 records, but that's the first one they put out.
Yeah, that's killer.
Pretty sure. Love the artwork too.
Yeah, yeah. Funny. Yeah, Rockpile. Gotta love it. Whoops, what did I do? Something went on. I turned something on.
Overhead light.
It's a motion light. We did something. Don't move.
Don't move.
Don't move. So yeah, you're just gonna keep plugging away.
Yeah.
Cool. Yep. So retired from real work?
I guess. I hate that word. But yeah, I really haven't had a regular job since 2007, 2008.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I live a simple life. Because I have to.
Yeah, no, I hear that. Me too. Yeah, I married someone with a job.
There you go. That's what you got to do.
Well,
yeah.
I don't remember if she had one when I met her. But, it happens. It happens.
What do you do to stay alive other than playing?
I teach mostly. Teach drums.
Great.
I do that more than playing.
You do that out of here?
Yep. Yeah. A couple of places, a few places. This is one of them.
Great.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. It was when I came off the road a while ago, like when I kind of stopped playing for a living.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, let me see if I can get serious about this.
Teaching.
And I like it.
Good.
It's cool. It's cool.
I would do it if I could, but I don't feel I have the...
No?
Yeah. I mean, I could teach literature. I could teach poetry, but...
Yeah.
Drums, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. It's like anything, just out of survival and necessity. It became available. And I said, all right, let me see if I can figure it out. Yeah. And I feel like I got pretty good at it. Yeah. And I like working with the kids and doing the thing.
Yeah. It's good to see them light up and get into something.
Oh, yeah.
And learn.
Yeah.
That's fun to see.
Yeah. It's definitely cool.
And they're enthusiastic. As long as the teaching is working for them.
Yeah. It either is or it isn't.
Yeah.
Either they stay or they go. And a lot of them stay. We have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. I play. I really wanted to be a bass player first.
Really?
Yeah. And I took a couple of bass lessons, and I was terrible. I couldn't remember. And then I discovered drums because they were easier for me for whatever reason. And then when I started teaching more seriously, I picked up the bass again just to kind of play with the kids. And I play more bass now than drums.
Really? Yeah.
And I still am not that good. Like, I just realized I don't have a lot of talent when it comes to bass playing. I have some, but...
It's funny, that whole relationship between bass players and drummers, it's so important. You know this. I mean, I've been lucky to play with some really good bass players.
Yeah, me too.
And instantly this is going to groove. You know? Like, there's this guy, Paul Aranger, who's from Massachusetts, and he plays with a lot of different people. But I played with him once, and it was just so good. And then he called me for a gig in New Hampshire, of all places. I'm coming from Bristol, Connecticut. I'm like, that's like 2.5 hours. I'm like, but it was him. And I'm like, you know what? I like playing with this guy so much. And it's just a gig, nothing big.
Yeah.
And it was fun. It was great.
That's cool.
And, Tim Leffingwell from the Blues Quartet, Incredible Amplifiers, he's a great bass player. Ben Boylan, who plays in... what do you call it? Spacing. But he played in the country band that we had.
Okay.
And he was a thrill to play with. And, sometimes with bass players, I'm like, can't make it happen. We can't find each other.
Yeah.
But I love it when it just clicks. And swing hard,
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun.
No, I've been spoiled. I have.
Oh, Scott Spray I play with.
Yeah, sure.
I'm in the middle of 2 recordings right now, sort of. We did half a record here, half a record there. There's a studio in Haddam, I believe it is, called Fever Barn Recording.
Yeah.
It's about half an hour down the road from here on off 9. And the friend of the owner kind of compiled this band specifically to record.
Oh, wow.
And the name guy is from Lafayette, Louisiana. His name is Dickie Dew. He's actually Richard. Who were the guys? The Zydeco guys from Carrier. Chubby Carrier is his brother.
Yeah, I don't know if I know him.
Roy Carrier is his father. Yeah. These guys are royalty in
cool.
the Zydeco
Thanks.
thing.
The lights went on. I don't know why.
Well,
It was a ghost. It was a ghost.
Lighten up the place. But anyway, we had like 8,
There we go.
9 pieces: piano, accordion,
Whoa.
harmonica, bass, drums, guitar, and it was a lot of fun. But we got about halfway through a record, and to be finished.
Yeah.
And then we're in the middle of one with the incredible amplifiers.
Cool.
And we have a couple guests that are great. Piano player Sam Meyer, a young guy. He's got a jazz background, but he could really play the blues.
That's cool.
And then we also have, what's his name? Anyways, a guy from Memphis, and he's everywhere. He's a really great guitar player, plus our normal guitar player.
Yeah.
So that's in process now. And
Nice.
hopefully we'll get it done before I die.
When do you plan on dying? Are you on a schedule?
Well, I could be. I just don't know what it is.
Oh, we are. Well, yeah. We're all on a schedule.
So.
Mm-hmm. All right. You're just going to rock and roll till the end.
It's true, as long as I can keep doing it. But, at a certain point, you just, you get tired of the travel. And, I mean,
Yeah. No, I kind of retired.
And your body can take a beating. Although I'm doing okay as far as, I'm not having drum-related injuries.
Yeah, that's cool.
Back is good, knees are okay. Never got,
Yeah.
what do you call it, arthritis or whatever you get.
I'm starting to get it.
Are you?
Yeah, fingertips.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I kind of feel the same way, but I'm not playing. Actually, I play at home like every day. I play more at home.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like being a kid. I didn't have that for years and years and years. We bought a house.
Right.
And it's like, oh, hey, this is cool. I can just bang on the drums.
Wish I had a house.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'm in a condo, so I got like a pad kit.
Yeah.
But I just want to be able to go.
Yeah. No, it is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it just happened. But I didn't have a kit at home forever.
Yeah.
I mean, I would just practice here. If a kid didn't show up, I would get.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, it's awesome. Play every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more fun.
So I see you're playing occasionally with some big names these days. What's her name from Saturday Night Live? The singer.
Oh, Christine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see that you're on that show.
Yeah, she's awesome. I've known her since I was a young kid.
Oh, really?
From around, yeah.
Is she
Yeah.
from around these
Oh,
parts?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's, always been around, like, the New Haven scene, more or less, kind of. And, I've been kind of in her orbit since I was, like, really young and couldn't even, I had no clue how to play. I think there was a couple of times, like back in the past, when she would be between drummers, and she would bring me in, and I didn't understand yet.
Yeah.
I just wasn't old enough to know how to
work.
I'm not saying that, and now I do, but
Right.
at least I was, I guess, trying to, because all I knew how to do, maybe you could relate, is like, just trying to fit a square peg into a round hole without realizing that your only hope is just to listen.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
I tell you, I've learned that over the years.
Yeah.
That is a key. If a drummer isn't listening, it's just bad.
Right.
It doesn't matter. You have to listen. That's why I love. I mean, I listen all the time, of course, when I'm playing. But with the Orb Melon Trio thing, you have to. You just got to. What's happening?
Yeah.
How can I make this go?
Yeah.
Even though I don't know what's coming next.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not wacky like free jazz.
No,
it's
I know
not
what you mean.
that.
Now.
I mean, it's a fairly, the structures are somewhat standard.
Yeah.
But he's got his own sort of take on, again, it's kind of hill country meets rock and roll meets punk. It's kind of weird.
Cool. Nothing wrong with that.
It's fun. It's fun to play.
Yeah, I hear you. I had to leave a gig. I was doing like an organ trio.
Oh, see, I'd love to do that.
And I was having a great time, but the organ player the setup was ideal.
Mm-hmm.
I could hear, it was, guitar, organ, and drums. I could hear, and the way we were set up, I could look right across and see both of their hands.
So what's going on? Yeah.
And all I would do was just watch and play.
Mm-hmm.
And I showed up one week, and the organ player, who's the leader, changed the setup.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't hear anybody. They like put me on the end and the organ, and then the Leslie was on the far side, and the guitar amp was on the far side. And I was like, bro, I can't hear anything. I can't hear you guys.
That's not
like
good.
all I hear is drums.
Right.
And he didn't understand, and I just was like, I'm not into doing this.
Yeah.
Because all I could do was hear my way through the gig. I was just totally flying by just watching hands and catching everything. And then when I was like, I can't hear you guys. So I kind of walked away.
Yeah.
But
No, you got to be able to hear that, obviously.
I mean, I do.
Me too. No,
it's
me
just
too.
Kind of the way it is.
I remember I saw you play. I haven't seen you play that much, and I'll try to make a point to see you more when you're out there.
Yeah.
What was that place on Park Street?
What, Sully's? Back in the day?
Yeah. And I was talking to you about it briefly, like your setup for your own hearing.
Yeah.
And what was that all about?
Well,
just basically monitoring.
Well, what ended up happening was at a certain point when I was on the road, I was playing a lot with Jeff Pitchell.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not complaining about the world or the way things are, but the way when I entered the business, so to speak, or whatever, 8 to the bar, we had a sound man.
Yeah.
We had our own PA. We had a road crew. So you could get a consistent monitor mix.
Yeah, which is great.
Which to me is kind of key because
It really is.
when the drums are so dependent on the acoustics of the room, it's hard to get consistent
sound, right?
And when the last band I was kind of semi on the road with, like every weekend, was Jeff Pitchell. And the business changed a little bit that, we would play places that had house sound but people stopped being a professional because there wasn't enough
people?
work.
Yeah, I know.
There was like real sound men became fewer and further between. And I couldn't get a consistent, and when I was in that band, I became 40 years old. Like there was a turn physically.
Yeah.
And the band was on the loud side, and if I couldn't hear my bass drum, I would stomp it too hard.
Yeah, that's tough.
And I'm still like I hurt myself on that gig.
Hurt.
I still have a back thing from not being able to hear my kick drum.
Yeah.
And so I started. I threw a mic in the kick, and I brought a powered speaker. I brought my own powered wedge just to hear my bass drum. And then I was contributing to the stage volume, and everyone just turned up, and I was losing the battle. So one day I was like, wait a minute. This mixer has a headphone jack on it.
Right.
And I just plugged in $20 earbuds, and I was like, oh, this is great.
This works.
But I can't hear anybody else.
Right.
And I thought, well, wait a minute. A mixer, I'll put an overhead mic
to get the sound
to
of the
get
whole
everybody else.
band. Yeah.
And then, anyway, I ended up with hat kick snare
Right.
and an overhead, and then I ran a compressor
Right.
into an aux end, which you're not technically supposed to do. Yeah. But I would take that overhead and compress it.
Right.
So, I mean, I could hear people getting ready to come to the gig. Like, because people were, you can't hear anything. I was like, dude, I can hear everything. And then if you time the attack and release, when you hit the kick drum, everything just kind of gooshes in a little bit.
Yeah.
But I could hear everybody.
That's great. That's
and then
so key.
Once I got that together, I could. Oh, yeah.
Black one.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, thank you. And then once I got dialed in and I kind of could get a consistent sound every night, it changed everything.
Yeah.
Because, as you know, as an acoustic drummer, you get you'll have a good night,
Right.
everything, and then the next night, the room sounds terrible.
Yeah.
You're back to square one.
Yeah.
And I at least got some sort of control where I didn't have to ask a monitor guy. It was just self-contained.
Right.
And, once you get dialed in,
Yep. You're good.
and then, it's not like I was playing quiet, but I would get to a point or even compress the kick drum where, it sounds loud enough and everything's cool. And if you guys can't hear me, you're going to have to turn down a little because I'm not going to – I got to the point where, at least for me, I couldn't battle with my body anymore. I couldn't stomp any harder, and I'm like, you know what? I'm out.
I don't
once
like
I
to
got
bash. I don't like to play with
No.
loud bands. I just don't.
The band was a little on the loud side. I didn't mind it,
Right.
but when I started to physically lose the battle, that's when I was like, okay, this is taking a toll.
Yeah.
So I did that, and that kind of got me through.
That's good.
Yeah. So I just
Smart.
invented it,
Yeah.
in my own way.
Yeah, sure.
And now, of course, people have iPads. You can get a feed or whatever.
Yeah.
But I just have hat, kick, snare, and then I get on the gig and I spend half the time with not even one in.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
But what I also discovered, and I'll stop rambling, but when, as the night would go on,
Right.
as opposed to what we usually do is play louder, I would just train myself as the night went on. I would just reach over and start turning it down
Right.
a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, and then if you compress it enough, it sounds loud and exciting.
Yeah.
But the volume in your direct ear is not
not.
as loud as if you're
Yeah.
completely exposed to,
Yeah.
And I would walk out of the gig with my ears fresher than they had been, because you just beat your ears down after 3 sets or whatever, and your
Yeah.
ears are cooked.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like getting nervous about my hearing, and I was like, you know
Yeah.
what? Let me see if I can at least control this, so I can still,
I gotta
so-
do something with my hearing. I mean, it's not bad. It's really quite good because I don't really play in loud bands as a rule.
right.
But and speaking of sound, man, oh god,
Oh boy.
we don't. Most of my bands don't. Well, it depends on the gig, but for the most part, we're not playing huge shows.
Sure.
We're playing small places.
Yeah.
But so we don't really have a sound guy for the most part. But I played with this guy Phil Diario. It was one of the fill-in gigs I do. Phil Diario, he's out of Rhode Island, and he's a really good singer, guitar player. He plays drums too. He plays with a band called Toss Crew. I don't know if you heard of them, but he tours with them as a drummer. Anyway, he hires me as a drummer when it's his band, and we were in Northampton, East Hampton, somewhere in Massachusetts, at this club that has a lot of good acts, and they have a sound guy.
Yeah.
And he seemed professional on the front end of things, right?
Sure.
But then he comes up
Oh no.
and starts like taping shit all over my drums,
Yeah,
like
no.
muffling the hell out of them.
No.
I'm like, this.
No.
No. I mean,
Yeah, just mic my sound.
yeah.
Don't-
He and he was taping the bottom of my floor tom because it was resonating with the bass drum, and his whole beef was he wanted sound through the house, in their little speaker.
Yeah.
I mean, there was main PA right,
Sure.
in the room we were in,
Yeah.
but there was a separate sort of restaurant that they wanted to pipe it in, and he was just doing stuff, and then he put a big blanket over Phil's guitar amp, and Phil couldn't even hear himself.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
like one of those battles where you go like, "Fuck,
Yeah, I know.
stop,
I know.
just get the band. We know how to play.
I know.
Get the band sound. Leave us alone."
I know.
You've been
I'm-
through that a million times.
A million times. Yeah, it happens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, it does. It does happen. Yeah, that's a way. Well, although now it's more common, but I remember like back in the day. Again, I'm not throwing Soundman under the bus, but that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Well, some dudes.
Sorry, Soundman.
Well, they get it's. I'm not. I know something about audio, but
Yeah.
I can mic my own drums. I can work a mixer.
Yeah.
But I would always be able to tell when I would roll into a place that had a house sound man. And my thing is like, I have splitters like you can, but I'm not even using good mics. I
Right.
just have,
Yeah.
a D20 or whatever. Like these are just so that I can kind of hear the drums. They're not like,
Recording.
not even a 58. It's just like,
Yeah.
whatever. But my thing would always be like, but they would see me kind of running my cables and doing my thing, and it would either be, usually they'd be like, "So what are you doing?" And I just said, "Nothing. You know what?
Nothing you need to know.
Nothing
about.
you need to know." I said, "Just mic for front of house. You'll be able to, because everybody gets their mic in with the snare." I go, "You'll be fine. Just do your thing."
Yeah.
Okay. And what usually happens is that either an inexperienced sound man who thinks I'm challenging will be,
Right.
"What's all this? What is all this?" or they'll go, "What do you got going on here? Do you need a feed from me?" And I'll go, "You know what? I have a channel. If you want to send me a mix, we can." But I go, "It's just basically
for you."
And the guys who know what they're doing go, "Oh, cool."
Yeah.
And then they move on.
Yeah,
And other goes, so do they get all panicky, and I go, "Bro, I'm doing this to make you easier. Like
make
you
it
just,
easier. Right.
you know, I put my mic in the kick. You can put yours in front and like just mic for front of house and go for it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But some guys, I'm just like, don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's funny. I have a DW kit that I purchased in 1992. Beautiful kit, and I used it for years. But recently, I bought from a friend a 1961 Slingerland kit.
Ooh.
And it's beautiful, champagne sparkle. It's got no hole, and I'm not putting a hole in the front head. Just not doing it.
Sure.
Not doing it.
Yeah.
So they got a.
I have an
mic
old
from the
Premier
outside.
with this front head.
It's like
yeah.
nah.
Yeah.
But my DW has a
Yeah.
hole about. I hardly ever use that kit at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I mean, the kind of music I'm playing mostly is fine with the
Felt strip or not even?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have a little.
It's a sound.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love the sound of it. And everybody that, friends of mine, they're like, those drums sound great. I got them from Mike Law. You know Mike Law?
Yeah.
Bass player.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He used to play drums, and he had this kit, and he was unloading it for a decent price.
Oh,
I'm like, I'm on it.
Yeah,
boom.
yeah.
Like he put it on Facebook, and I was all over
wow.
it. And I called him like, all right, look.
I must have
buying
missed that post.
Others have told them they were pissed that they couldn't get it.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I think I'm okay. I got premieres. I got a friend of mine was like, I have this drum kit. I got to get it out of here. Somebody left it here.
Yeah.
And they were premieres from pre-international sizes, which is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, to get heads for it, right?
Yeah. And I found them eventually, but it was like, and then I just told them straight up, I go, I will take them, and then let me do research. If they're worth a stupid amount of money, I'm going to give them back to you, and you're going to sell them to somebody real.
Right.
He just gave them to me, and it took me about a year to kind of get them
together.
And they're great. Yeah, front head, no hole, just boom.
Yeah.
It's great sound.
Yeah.
I was using those on the Oregon Trio gig. It was perfect.
Yeah.
It was like perfect.
Right.
But like the rack tom is like 12 and 7/8. It's like
Yeah.
weird.
So how you find a head for that, right?
Well, I found them, but it took a while.
Yeah.
Anyway, talk about your records. I don't want to run out of time.
Oh, okay. Well, I brought some of my favorites.
Should I ask the question? Is this the answer to the question?
Yeah.
Okay. Desert Island albums. Go. Yeah.
All right. Well, some of them are here.
Yeah.
I think Rock Pile would qualify. Seconds of Pleasure. It's just fantastic.
It's probably like 1980 or 82 or something, right?
That's a good question.
It's got to be
80?
Something like that, if I had to guess.
Looks like 80. I don't know if my eyes are good. Can you see down the bottom of the credits there?
Yeah, I bet you. All right.
Here's another one that, to me, it's like butter.
1980.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
You don't know this one?
Nope.
Oh.
I'm not a jazz expert.
No. Do you know Johnny Hartman's vocals at all? You want to borrow it?
If you think I should.
I think you should.
Okay.
Okay. So that's one I would take on the Desert Isle Rock Pile.
Yep.
Okay. This is one.
Oh, boy.
Thelonious Monk. It's all solo except for one tune that has a full band on it. But
that's cool.
It's just beautiful. I mean, played on a good audio system.
Yeah.
Totally awesome.
All right.
Because if you're a Monk fan,
I am.
Actually. All right. Well.
Okay. I'll look for this.
What am I supposed to do?
Is it stereo?
It might be mono.
Spectrasonic, whatever that
There's
means.
a million NRBQ things I'd love to take, but if I only had to take one, it could be this one. Two record set.
Tom Staley.
Mm-hmm. Now, is Tommy on this at all?
I don't want to be a know-it-all, but I don't believe so. I don't believe so.
Tommy's not on this one? No. This is before Tommy came on.
Yep. But I love Tom Staley too.
Tom Staley's great.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, I love Tom Staley.
I love the tune "Don't Knock at My Door."
Oh yeah.
Dun, 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 no knock at my door.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for this.
And then
looks like a good one.
And then I would take Basie, "April in Paris." Just a beautiful recording.
I bet.
Really great. I mean, I love Basie. I love Ellington.
Yeah, I'm a Duke Ellington freak.
Yeah. I mean, again, Basie and Ellington, Roomful led me to them, really.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't know that much about them, but since, I started delving into their background.
Yeah.
And again, same with NRBQ, like the weird stuff they do and the country that they do and even the approach to blues and old great pop.
Yeah.
All those things, you kind of
Yep.
tentacles reach out and you find out more stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I didn't know. I stumbled on Duke Ellington just like accidentally.
Yeah.
And
Do you recall what your first one was?
yes, it was called All Star Road Band.
All-Star.
It's double disc. It's like 1950. It's like after the Newport. So they're kind of cruising.
Right.
But it was like somebody recorded them. It's at a dance with like a stereo mic.
Uh-huh.
And it's beautiful.
Oh, really?
But they're doing the whole diminuendo, Paul Gonzalez is doing his thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like Sam Woodyard on drums.
Yeah, he's great.
He's almost a rock and roll drummer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And so that must be the roomful slice.
Yeah.
And then I tried to get more records like that. And it's nothing. I mean, now I love the whole thing, but like you get back into Sonny Greer years, it's not the same thing.
Right.
But Duke Ellington in the 50s is gut bucket.
Yeah.
Like he's driving it.
Yeah.
And that's stuff I like. And I'm not surprised that Roomful, it's that kind of thing. To me.
And it was great to see Roomful. I saw him with Joe Turner before Joe passed. That was something. And they did a good record. I don't know if you know the record, but they did a recording with Joe Turner.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know that one.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. That's worth having.
I got to go top to bottom.
I mean,
with
Joe
that.
was old and really fat and
sure.
sitting in a chair and had a cane, but hey, it was still 85% of what you love about Joe Turner.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, maybe that'll be my next thing is get all the Roomful on vinyl. You know,
their records to me.
I love the first record.
There you go. I was just going to say that.
Yeah,
if I have a bunch of them, but that one to me was just like, whew,
yeah,
perfect.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, I agree.
Duke's on 2 records. The
Okay.
second record is Party Favor. No, not, but that's Al Anderson's
Oh, right.
thing. It's called Let's Have a Party. That's
Yeah,
the
right.
second
Okay.
record. And then Duke was gone. He went on to,
Gotcha.
Robert Gordon
Yeah,
and then his own thing and Fabulous Thunderbirds and all that.
Yeah, that first record.
Yeah.
That's the one. All right.
So good.
I think I'm good. I already got that. Yeah. Yeah, no, I love that record.
But the rest of them, like, they're okay.
Sure. Well, Paladins are like that too, because they switch labels and they this and they that.
Different drummers too, right? They
a couple of times,
two.
And then John Fahey came back, and I think he's
Brian Fahey.
Oh, Brian Fahey. I'm sorry, I got confused.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came back. Right.
And their records are anyway. They're Paladins. It's a whole other thing. Just depends on what label, because like sometimes they're making a run for it. And the stuff sounds good, and then he starts self-producing.
And it's like not.
But then you're also like, it's kind of that fine line of like, are they doing this on purpose?
Yeah, I doubt it.
They're trying to make a retro thing because like one of the things that Thomas Yearsley sent me is like something brand new that Dave Gonzalez produced.
Right.
And it's beautiful, but it sounds like an old, and I'm like, okay, now I know you're doing it on purpose.
Right.
So anyway. The lo-fi thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then you're like, is this lo-fi or on purpose, or is this just a bad recording?
Right.
It almost doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. It's like, what does it sound like? Well, I like it.
Yep, right.
That's the thing. Right?
That's
you got to like it.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes that music it wouldn't benefit from sounding hi-fi.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, too clean. You want a little dirt.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep, indeed.
We could get out of here. You have anything else?
Nothing comes to mind.
Are you sure? Desert Island food.
Food. Oh, well, in that case.
So
I make a dish, pappardelle.
Okay.
That's a noodle.
Okay.
Italian noodle. With peas, cream, sausage, and cheese. It's awesome. I just made it recently.
Far out.
I would have that.
That's your thing?
I would have a New York strip steak with a red wine reduction sauce with shallots, whipped potatoes, and green beans. I'd have that.
Okay.
I'd have a muffaletta from Progress Grocery in New Orleans. And I'd have a roast beef grinder from Reels Deli in Westerly, Rhode Island.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you thought about this.
Yeah, well,
That's heavy. Wow. One show or concert that you saw, I think you might already answered this, that totally flipped your script.
Yep, it's definitely
Roomful,
the first time I saw Roomful. It just blew my mind entirely. I mean, it was partly the scene, but it was mostly the sound.
Yeah.
It was just so
sure.
Boom.
Yeah, no.
And it must have been in my bones, like, you get set off. It's like, this is everything I love about this kind of music.
Yeah, yeah.
And they played it so well. They were already 10 years or more down the road when I saw them in 76.
Yeah,
I
right.
think they started in 66, 67, 68, something like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But John Rossi had that effect. Oh. It was just undeniable.
Yeah, and he and I we became sort of friends,
Yeah, that's
I used
cool.
to see him so much, and we'd talk drums and shit. He's a funny guy.
Yeah. I mean, I would, like I said, cross paths.
Yeah.
But, it was a strange thing. Unique. That's another one, like Tom Artolino. Just there's only one.
Only one.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, Tommy was even more sort of unique, I think, than John. I mean, John was great.
Yeah.
But Tommy, it's kind of like non-pareil, I think you'd say.
There will never be another. Nope. All right. We're going to get out of here.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Are you satisfied? Is this how you thought it was going to be?
I had no idea.
Hey.
But yes, I'm satisfied.
Cool. Tell us about your gigs one last time.
All right. Every Wednesday with Flood of 55 from 8 to 10 at Grindstone Tavern in Collinsville. And then starting in June, every Tuesday from 5 to 8.
Good thing we got you now, because you wouldn't have been here.
No. Every Tuesday, 5 to 8 at Uno's Pizza in Springfield, which is next to the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Yep.
And then on the 31st of this month, May, the Northeast Guitar Summit at Black Eyed Sally's from 8 o'clock.
Far out.
Yeah, man.
Cool. All right, Mark Hennessy was here. Right?
Thank you. I was here.
Cool. Oh, I almost pressed the wrong button, Dave. Uh-oh. I almost pressed stop instead of this. Whoa. All right. John Peckman Podcast, Connecticut Valley. That was almost an abrupt ending. Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance, beautiful downtown Portland, Connecticut. Come over the bridge, go for the one set of lights, pull the UE, park in front of the music store with the red neon light. We're getting dangerously close to our remote capabilities. That means sky is the limit. We can have any guest in the whole wide world, but we had Mark Hennessy here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time. Adios. That is all.
If you'd like to start your own podcast, give us a call at Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance. Our professionally designed podcast space is here for all your recording needs. Rent out our studio to do interviews with up to 4 people, to record audiobooks, social media content, and all other recorded material. Our rentals include a private studio along with our professional-grade podcasting equipment, and we can customize your output to whatever your needs are. We also have green screen capabilities, which will expand to video capability if you so wish. So check us out here at convalley.net/podcast.